It's now time for Big D Energy with four-time Stanley Cup champ Darren McCarty and the golden voice of Neal Ruhl. Live on the Woodward Sports Network, 99.1 and 93.5 The Roar, the Woodward Sports app, and anywhere you listen to podcasts. Let's talk some sports. It's Big D Energy.
Hey, yo, everybody. Welcome back. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. My name is Neal Ruhl. That guy over there, he's Darren McCarty. He knows about hockey and stuff.
Big D!
Guy in the booth over there, that's Sam Flannel. He knows about flannels and stuff. The other guy in the booth, Spencer Raxter, he knows about strawberry waffles and stuff. That's right. This is the squad that we have rolling out every single day. Happy to have you all with us as well. Remember, get involved. If you're watching on our YouTube channel, tap in the YouTube chat thread. We'll let you program the show. I'll defer to you guys for content. Basically, I get more out of the relationship than you guys do. But, you know, that's fine, though, right? That's the way we like it.
That's in your life, right?
Yeah.
That's what you're always giving more than you receive.
Yeah.
There you go.
Absolutely, though. Happy to have everybody rocking and rolling here today. D-Mac, that hockey game last night. I loved it. It reminded me of street hockey back in the day, the pond hockey game. It was awesome.
Neal, I went back to our conversation as we were sitting here and said the over-under is 7, but it's plus money. And it was like there was no argument. There was no thinking that it wasn't going to end up this way. What happened? Oh, look at this clock. Let's just hammer this thing down right now. Oh, I was right every which way you look. From Mike Smith, right? I mean, Colorado scored again, I think. Right? That's
he couldn't hold the lead for 30 seconds, man.
It doesn't matter. It was both ways. You know, you see Darcy Kemper in Colorado's, then he got injured. Different things back and forth. We saw so much of what we thought this series would be. There's no reason. Neal, I brought up a stat. That's 69 goals in 6 games, the Oilers and Chicago back in the 87-88 season. 69 goals total in the series. Well, you got 14 last night, which you would never think you're on pace, but I do not. I think every one of this game, the lowest scoring portion of this game is probably a combination of 8 goals or 9 goals, right? It's going to be a 3-3, 4-4 game. If both sides, you know, has some sort of an awakening with their power play, which you have scoring by different guys, but then you have some magic shown by some of the greatest players in the world. I mean, I don't know what else you'd want. But the one thing about a series like that, and as we'll talk about the Eastern Conference, which starts tonight between Tampa Bay and the Rangers, it's the tale of two series. You know, the high-flying West with, you know, no less than 10 total goals in a game, and then in the East where you expect this to be a, you know, 2-2, 3-2, total of 5 game going in. It's with the 2 best goalies in the world. So, it was crazy. It was crazy that you knew this is the only way that it had to end. Right? It's like going into a college football game where the last team that scores is going to win, just back and forth. And it was utter enjoyable. I mean, we were texting back and forth. Yeah. We had our group thread going, this is unbelievable. Somebody got up to go to the bathroom. I couldn't believe, right, at the end of the first period, I shot the, if anybody looked at the Woodward Sports Network, I shot a little video last night just with all the goals, and then was like, oh my God, like, they're not done. So they're not going to be done. I mean, it's unbelievable. And as a Stanley Cup champion, as guys played in the playoffs, it is enjoyable because you got 2 teams that are matching each other, their best of their best, and it really goes to show you that their offensive prowess is in this series is the dominance. And usually, what do we always hear that wins championships, especially in hockey? Defense, right? Defense wins championships. Not in this series, Neal. Not in this series. So I think this is more of a combination of the perfect storm of the two right teams playing each other. right, than it is that what you usually get. So what I would say to people is enjoy it as much as I am.
Here's the thing, D-Mac, and you've heard me talk about this before with the NBA. And Sam and Spence, I'm curious to get your guys' take on this too. You know I get aggravated when people are in the chat or people on Twitter say they don't play defense in the NBA. I can't stand that take, man. J.J. Redick talked about that one time, a guy that played in the league. I think that there's a shade of that to this series.
Oh, for sure.
Where I think that if you had Tampa and the Rangers, those games would be 8-goal games too, because these are the best offensive players in the world that we're seeing on these two teams right now. I honestly believe that. Mark me. Like you guys tell me if I'm crazy or not. But you are seeing the best offensive hockey players in the world. And you know what, D-Mac? Maybe you can't stop them.
No, but that's because at the end of the day, why the three most important keys, and I always say this, is goaltending's your one. Because he's the one guy, no matter what, that can step in there and be the Superman and and those two guys are in the East. They're not in the West. This is what it is. It's a battle of attrition. This is old school. It used to be when I grew up, it was the Smythe division, right? The old school. This is old school Smythe.
Oh yeah.
Right? And Grant Fuhr, who was the goalie for all the Stanley Cup champions back in the Gretzky Oilers days and stuff like this. It was about his mentality was, I just got to stop one more than the other guy. That's what this series is. That's why it's interesting, because in the other series with the two goalies, the two best in the league arguably right now, in Shesterkin for the Rangers and Vasilevsky, who we said, that can be the big misnomer is the goaltender. But they need help in front of them, obviously, and it wasn't. You watched the game. Everybody watched the game. The goalies still made big saves and good saves. It's just the fact that these teams are so offensive. So that's where the combination of shutting them down, right? Because there has been offenses over. You can't tell me that this is the greatest offense from both teams ever played. No, they're consistent. They're really good. But that's when you need your grind line. That's when you need your shutdown line. That's where it's more imperative. What is it more imperative we saw last night? That both Colorado and Edmonton don't have an answer for the best players except play them against each other, so we got to try to offset it. We're going to try to offset it, the old backyard rules. You're going to get 4, I got to get 5. That's the way it is. Your defense comes from your offense in this series. So the finals will be interesting depending who comes out of the East and who comes out of the West, because we'll be talking about the difference to win is the goaltending. It's the goaltender. This goaltender's got to win the series against the team in the West. But we're not there yet. We're still, wow. If you're Vegas, what is the over-under tomorrow? 8?
Has to be.
I mean, and you've never seen that before. Yeah. I don't think there's ever been an 8 in hockey. But that's legitimately, and you're not even going to battle that. It's going to be an 8 plus money. Mm-hmm. I'm just saying that this is one of those rare occurrences on both sides. And now the fact that we hear Darcy Kemper, who's their starting goalie for Colorado, has an upper body injury, so now they got to go to their third guy. Mike Smith, what he did in the first game against Calgary when they lost 9-6, and they came back and won the series. So, I mean, yesterday's what I expected out of Mike Smith, but he's also bounced back. So, I mean, just the excitement.
You getting that vibe though, Spence? Like when you watch, and D-Mac brought that up yesterday. I put that tweet out where you saw Nathan McKinnon get the puck and go away from those dudes. After he got the puck, went away from those
Pulled
dudes.
away.
Are you getting that vibe where it is NBA like? What are they supposed to do with that?
Yeah, definitely. It's McKinnon and Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid looks like he makes NHL players look like beer league guys.
But you look at
the way he circles
but you
from
look
the blue
at
line to the goal.
Way that he hangs on to the puck and buys time and whatever, and then feeds McDavid in speed to do. Have you ever seen what I want you to watch for is and this is like so tough, and every time he does this, my stomach literally comes up into my throat like like you're going down the Millennial at Cedar Point.
Oh, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? No, is when McDavid comes out of the zone to tag up for an offside and gets the puck and does a quick turn back in the zone. His quick turn, guys, and he's full speed, which means you have no chance. You saw Landeskog last night take a penalty where you had to reach out and grab him.
Nobody else can change direction like that on the ice. It's
and go
insane.
full speed like that. Yeah. What you saw is McKinnon pick the puck up like those two where they pick it up and then he pulls away from a guy, which is unbelievable. But the way that these guys attack the net, the way that they can turn on a dime.
Yeah.
So I see it in the chat here. You're right. That's the fill the net series, and this one is to keep the puck out of the net. The one we'll start tonight, Tampa and the Rangers, which is going to be... should be a really, really exciting series.
That's why I can't wait for the Cup Finals, because either way, whatever two teams come out of this, it's going to be a battle of the juggernauts. Defense versus offense, goal scoring versus goaltender. It's going to be awesome. I can't wait.
And that's why, excited. To me, the Tampa Bay Lightning are kind of the Tupac team in all this. How do you want it?
Yeah.
Because they can do it. Because Kucherov's a beast, and they got the best goalie in the world, and all that kind of stuff. How about this stat for you, Sam Flannel? I know you're a big stat guy. Our guy Rack comes in with the Avs are averaging 4.64 goals a game. The Oilers are at 4.46. The Tigers are at 2.82 runs per game.
Oh, dear God.
That's my boy, Rack. That's my boy.
That is
with facts.
That is as telling as you can possibly be, both in favor of Edmonton and Colorado, but also makes the Tigers look really bad. But if you look at these two teams, they have so much firepower. I think that Draisaitl and McDavid are arguably the most exciting duo in sports. You've got McKinnon, you've got Mikko Rantanen, you have Kadri, you have Cale Makar, you've got Evander Kane possibly playing the best hockey of his life.
13th goal last night.
Yeah, ever since he got acquired by Edmonton. It's unbelievable to watch, and I can't wait to watch. This is must-see hockey. Even if you are a casual fan, if you are a huge fan like we all are, if you're a former player like D-Mac, it's got something for everybody. And,
I wouldn't say I'm a huge fan per se, because chances are good I won't watch tonight. I won't watch the Rangers Lightning. And look, Vasilevsky's the greatest goalie on the planet. He is. And I like Tampa a lot. And Kucherov's one of my favorite players. But it's just I felt like I had to watch last. Like the sports fan in me were like, you have to watch
this. You're
McJesus.
You're invested in.
But even that aside, though, just and look, I know I'm different. We've talked about this a lot. Where I like the goals. I'm built different, bro. I like the goals. I like the entertainment. I like the skill. The separate skill from the rest of the league. I understand that. But I felt like if you were a general sports fan, plus given what was on the calendar or the lack of what was on the calendar yesterday.
No, it was a perfect storm because no NBA Finals games hadn't started for the casual basketball fan. Yes, Neal, that's the series you want to say, hey, pull up on that one. Just pull up on it for 5 minutes, because in 5 minutes you could see 5 goals. Right? Like, you're going to get the excitement factor. That's the excitement that the NHL, right, as a brand wants to build right here. This is what puts people in the seats and stuff like that. Now, if you're a purist and you're a truist or you're a fan, you're going to watch tonight, because this is going to be an old school throwback, playoff hockey series. But
I hope Kucherov gets a hat trick and they pound him 6-1.
Well, you hope.
Plus, I hate the Rangers.
Well, there you go. You hope that, but the way that the series is set up, like I said, with the goalies and stuff. But on the other side, it's like, it really is the magic bird sort of you must see TV, because they're just going to throw buckets in on each other. It's just the greatest one-on-one game. Now, there's more to it with these teams, as you've mentioned, the players. And you look at Colorado, because it gets down to, the leveled scoring. Yeah, McKinnon got on the board. Makar was huge in the game. They got a guy who we're not talking about for them is Mikko Rantanen. He's a guy that led them in goals during the season. He got his second of the playoffs yesterday, so he heats up. You got a guy like the role players. JT Compher's got 2 goals in his back-to-back games, right? So it's the way they're doing it. There is, Neal, if you ask, and I know that if I ask Drapes or Waltz the same way, that's something, the inkling in the back is that you want a shot to shut these guys down. Be tough. It's tough to do it in these rules, but it'd be nice to throw them back in the 90s like we did the Legion of Doom or with Sakic and Forsberg and just say, hey, what do you guys really got? You know, faster than heck. Not saying that it could be done. Rules were a little bit different, made it a little bit tougher on them.
And you guys had Sergey too.
It'd be fun. Yeah, we could put that heads up. That's
Yeah.
and that's where you see, or even a Pav against these guys. But games change. But you don't. I got to dial it. Here's the question: you pulling up on game 2?
Oh, 100%.
Okay,
Yeah,
so
that's
it. So it
appointment
doesn't
viewing
matter
the
if
rest
you
of the
watch
way out.
tonight or not, but expect a lot of the same thing.
Yeah, and I can't wait for it. Tev Sauce, too, on our YouTube chat thread, says the further we get in the playoffs, the more I see we have a ways to go as Red Wings fans. We give up 10 goals easy to these teams. It's interesting you said that, Tev Sauce. We're going to talk about that when we come back. Are you getting discouraged by that? Because I didn't even think about it till a buddy of mine texted me yesterday. But let me tell you about somewhere where I'm not discouraged. That's when I'm at Planet Fitness, like I was a couple hours ago. And you can be there, too, for $0 down and $10 a month. That'll get you in the door at your home Planet Fitness. Over 2,000 locations across the world with options all the way up to the black card. Less than $1 per day can get you access to over 2,000 Planet Fitni. That's a plural for Planet Fitnesses is. And you can be there no matter where you are. There's one close by. You can join in club today. You're going to pass 2 of them on the way home. Pull up on them, join there. Or you can go online at planetfitness.com. It's Planet Fitness, D-Mac.
Where your fitness is essential.
6 dark corners, a driveway and a patio, 5 windows that could become doors. Every house has unique security challenges. Guardian Alarm has more tech, more team, and more ways to help keep them all safe. Get a professionally designed and installed security and smart home system from Guardian Alarm. Sign up today and get a free video device. Guardian Alarm. Smart, right from the start. Call 1-800-STAY-OUT.
Hey, it's Scott from the Woodward Bet Show. Don't mind me. I'm just counting my winnings from last night. But hey, before we get to some more winners, I got to tell you about my new favorite app, oddstrader.com. It's got live scoring, play-by-play updates, and the best thing is you can track all the different odds at all the sports books right in the palm of your hand. So let's get back to that winner. We're going to roll with the under in the Tiger game. We know Scooble. He's just Scooble, and he's a great pitcher. Tigers can't hit. oddstrader.com, Woodward Bets. Check it out.
What's up, guys? Happy Hump Day. D-Mac here for our friends at Alta Equipment, because you know when it comes to getting your job completed on budget and on schedule, uptime matters. That's why Alta Equipment is partnered with the biggest names in all of construction, with the most diverse rental fleet in the state of Michigan. There's nothing your project can throw at you that Alta can't handle. So give them a call today, 844-GO-TO-ALTA today. That's 844-GO-TO-ALTA. Alta Equipment, where uptime matters.
Off and running, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer. We got Sam Flannel. We are squad deep up in here today. But I got this text, and I hadn't thought about it, so I blame my buddy Dan for this.
Way to go, Dan.
But Tev Sauce, Tev Sauce too, jumped in with the same thing in the YouTube chat there. So I know it's going through people's minds. I guess I'm just not smart enough to think about it like that. My buddy Dan texted me roughly the same thing that Tev Sauce said, where he said, you're watching this game, it just kind of bums me out to see how far away as Red Wings fans we are from that level. And look, I know where I know where, and people are talking about it in here. Chuck said we gave up 10 goals to bad teams. The way we're playing right now, 15 goals would be more like what we would give up to these teams. Was there a degree, like was I the only one that once that popped in my head, I kind of thought that? What about you guys? Didn't you guys think that as well?
Yeah, I mean, it's tough when you only got one defenseman, and you look at these teams that are so ridiculously overpowered on the offensive end. It's hard to say we would only give up 10 goals.
You guys are so glass is half empty.
we got
I'm not
Easy's
even
boy
glass is
Edmondson
half
coming
full
up,
guy.
so.
I'm glass is refillable, because I watched that and I got excited to what we can be or what we're building towards. I mentioned this yesterday. I mention it all the time. Colorado is what Stevie's building you to be towards accept better with your money, right? Accept playing all these guys. So they got their main guys in their Landeskog's, their McKinnons, their Rantanas, they got their McCarr, they got their Taves on defense. Yeah, you look at what we have in a couple guys, but you're plug and place, and I compare it to the Colorado team, right? That's what you want. You don't have the depth that they have because they can come at you with the Rantana or the McKinnon, and then they got the Kadri coming back to you. You know, Darren Helm. You know, the biggest things, you look at the guys that had the influence, and I said this, the Darren Helm style of play to solidify face-off wise. He won some face-offs last night against McDavid. You mentioned the fact that McDavid had 3 points and still was a minus. Well, you know, it's different ways to play on the ice, but I look at it that you're building, that's what you're building towards as far as the star defenseman, right? So they got McCarr. Well, you got a Sider. Plus they got another guy in Taves, and they got the Girardis who's not playing. They got the Bowden, Byron, and guys that are reaching potential. Well, you got guys that are coming up that are supposed to have some potential. So I look at it, if you look at it as the team you have that steps on the ice at LCA or stepped off the ice this season, and this Colorado team or these teams, yes, they're not close. But break down personnel-wise and find out where you're missing and what you have to replace. And then look, right, with draft capital, look down the pipe. Is that a guy that you're going to sign? You know what I mean? Is that a salary cap? Is this a guy that you're going to go out and offer money to fill the void by bringing in a name guy? Or is it guys you're going to draft? Or is it guys in your system? So, you know, you look at the Colorados. Are you in a better spot goalie-wise? Goalie's their big question. DeKemper just went down, and they got the French guy who's in net. I apologize not knowing the backup's name, but that's the point, Neal, right? So they're not 100%, because if they were 100%, they'd have their Vasilevsky in net.
Here's the thing to me, D-Mac, and this just kind of popped in my head too right before we went to break, and you said, I wish we could have got a crack at one of these teams to see how we would stack up. And this, I just thought about this during the break, and I'm glad you're here, D-Mac, every single day, because I can ask you I don't have to wonder. I can just ask you. Yeah. So the thing to me is a line like your line with you and Drapes and, you know, whoever else rolled out on the line at the time, Maltby certainly, a majority of the time. In the salary cap era, that line is no more.
No.
Like when you guys were into free agency and you signed your deal and Draper signed his deal and Maltby signed his deal, you can't do that anymore. I mean, I'm looking at the salary breakdown right now for the Avalanche. You've got, you know, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. You got 6 $5 million guys, and then a couple $2 million guys, and the rest is $900,000 and less.
Yeah.
You guys have been taken away.
Right, because and I think you saw that so if you want to compare that, so in the glory years, the grind line's making between $1.5 million and $2 million, say $2 million each, right? That guy's got to make $900,000 now. The salary cap, where it goes, so you're gonna miss. You saw this last year. What was the big thing? Why Tampa wouldn't be able to three-peat? Because they lost their slash grind line in Goudreau, Coleman. You know, Goudreau's with the Rangers now. Coleman was with Calgary, and whoever the third player on that line was. But that's why internally you replace it, right? Which is what Tampa's done. They haven't missed a beat with that. So yes, that's part of the new. That's all part of
the new game.
To you about the new game about. That's why having money under the salary cap and having to do that. So here to my question. So the idea is, it usually can't be done because you're paying the top guys too much to solidify that. But maybe in the way that Stevie's trying to do it is trying to understand that the importance of that slash grind line on your roster. So you want to leave at least $1.5 million for that role guy that can do it, right? Maybe that's the way that it's being done. You look at Colorado's roster and their salary compared to where the Wings are at. You look at, you know, the different comparables, like who could be who. And it's always good to do it against the Stanley Cup champion because they won at the end. But there are some comparables with this Colorado team. And I choose, you're further away, but you're more alike in a certain way. And because in my opinion, right, where Steve Yzerman has the utmost respect for Joe Sakic as a person, as a player, as a general manager, and it seems like they do things in a similar way. And it's always they don't do things like frivolously and just off
to do
the
them.
whim.
Right.
That's what I do. That's what guys like me are for. That's why it keeps us around, right? We're the seat of your pants guys. They're not. They're always calculated. Even when they're taking a risk, there's calculation involved.
Lane Hartman in our YouTube chat thread says, we're close. Our future elite players need to be elite. Then our existing depth can play on the lines, and they'll be more comfortable on.
But
elite.
do you see how it was so important that at the end of the year when we found out what maybe we thought we had but we didn't? Because then it gets that question mark away from it, so then you can move on forward to the point of what the gentleman's making there. It's what do you have? What do you really have, right? You got a Verana, you got a Larkin, you got a Raymond.
We got Larkin for one more year.
You got a Bertuzzi. Well, I'm just saying, what do you have right now? And to your point, but why it's going into next year? Because you can only go, to your point, what is the salary in your face? Not what he should make, could make. What are you dealing with? Because with Steve Yzerman, and I look at Joe Sakic the same way, is don't tell me what I'm going to do with my money. I know what I'm going to do with my money, right? So,
and that's
so
why.
Keep it on what does he have out there, right? What is he responsible for out there and stood for? I know you're going to bring up, well, he hasn't signed him yet. He hasn't signed. Right. Doesn't mean he's gonna. His commitment right now is what the commitment is back. And if you haven't seen that, even in Tampa, even back whatever else. Remember Stamkos? We're coming up in free agent season. Remember Stamkos, who was the gun? He obviously the captain for Tampa Bay. But Stevie let him even go out and say, see if you can get something on the market. Do whatever it is, because he wasn't going to hamstrung, and then they worked out a deal coming back. But that was last case. So what I'm saying is we always go with general managers, he's going to pay this guy, and he deserves this, and this money's going there. Don't do that with Stevie, because unless he's giving it to you, you ain't guaranteed it. You got to earn that. That's what I'm saying.
And that's my point of it all, D-Mac, where we talk about how far away is this team, and going back to the YouTube comment by Lane Hartman, our elite players need to be elite. I'm just telling you this, man. Nathan McKinnon and Dylan Larkin are in the same salary stratosphere. They are. We have 6.8 to 6.1-ish. Larkin's in line for a raise. And I'm not, I took a lot of heat for this at the beginning of the year. You remember that? And I said, you have to think about this, like with the Dylan Larkin thing coming down the future. And you guys remember, I got filleted by everybody, man. Like, people were like, well, he's the captain and it's elite. But these questions continue to get closer, and this is the stratosphere.
What does Gabriel Landeskog make?
What is he's got a pretty healthy deal. Yeah, he's got a pretty healthy deal too.
So I would use Landeskog and Larkin as a comparable, not McKinnon. Why are you gonna? There's two guys in
because the money's roughly the same. That's why.
No. Check Landeskog.
Yeah, he's more. He's 7.5.
What is he?
7.5.
So Landeskog's even more. And you're so to your argument, blowing out your rear end because Landeskog, who's their captain and their leader, makes 7.5, makes more than McKinnon, and doesn't put the pops up. So the fact that Larkin at 6 or whatever, being the leader that he is, so you got to look and see the intangibles or whatever, which is always to Dylan Larkin. The McKinnon on your roster right now or whatever is Verana.
Verana, right?
Okay, so what does Verana make?
Or it could be Raymond even. Could be.
Yes.
Ceiling.
To your point, would be more along the lines. But that's why I hate it when compare the right guy, right? So in that point, you're getting a deal.
Okay.
If Larkin.
Well, and to go back to that, and I didn't realize this. Landeskog signed till he's 36. He's he's in the second year of an 8-year, $56 million deal.
Okay, so Joe Sakic.
Exactly.
Okay, tea leaves. What did Sakic do? Right? identified his captain early, right? Let him build around there. Okay, I'm just saying. I'm not saying he's got to get an 8-year deal or a 6-year deal or whatever, but whatever at the money. So when I say to you, Neal, and you're complaining about him making McKinnon money, which McKinnon is going to make $12 million.
Oh yeah,
double
100%.
it, so it's not as, but I'm saying is if you had Dylan Larkin for 5 years, 6 years, when you're supposed to get there at $7 million, that's a deal, isn't it? If he's your leader and he's your captain and he's not your $12 million player, he's your $7 million leader, captain, whatever. So when you want to use comparables, maybe that's a comparable to start, right? Because they didn't sell their farm on Nathan McKinnon. They sold their farm on Landeskog and now McCarr.
Before we go to break, that Zetterberg deal was, 13 years, right?
Yeah.
Because I remember the Forever Z catch. That was so awesome. I love that.
Was it awesome at the end?
Yeah. Well, I mean, it was still awesome.
But you're on the Miggy thing. You're going to do it is what it is.
Hank
But
earned
are
it.
you saying Zetterberg wasn't worth it?
At the end, he was not. And the difference is it's a cap sport versus a non-cap sport. That's what the difference is.
At the end in the cap sport, it's never worth it. You tell me at the end in the cap sport, is it ever worth it unless it's forward money? So.
I know it is worth it. Gypsy Vodka
Of course you do.
is always worth it. It was worth it this weekend.
It hasn't even been 4 days, 3 days. It's like that.
You know what it is. This weekend, we're going to get back on the horse. That's right. Gypsy Vodka will be a central figure of it. If you're bumping around the golf course this season, the official drink of summer is here. It's the Mulligan, produced, of course, by Gypsy Vodka. If you're out on the golf course or hanging out in the backyard, the Mulligan is calling your name. Ask for the Mulligan at your local golf course or pull up to a Total Wine near you. Scoop up a case of it there. It's the Mulligan, brought to you by Gypsy Vodka. As always, drink responsibly.
Life is full of hard choices. We're here to make one of life's biggest decisions as simple as possible. My name is Christina Gennari, and for over 20 years, I've helped hundreds of families buy and sell homes. We cover all of Metro Detroit and more, from large luxury homes to starter homes. We will work hard to make sure that you get the home of your dreams. So if you're in the market today or even thinking about buying or selling in the future, make the obvious choice. Christina Gennari, the obvious choice in real estate. Visit us at soldchristina.com today.
Strawberry Fest is back at Big Boy. We brought back some of the classic breakfast items like the strawberry French toast, hot cakes, and waffle. If you're not feeling breakfast, try our new strawberry bacon chicken wrap, crispy chicken wrap, nacho wrap, or strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And don't forget to grab dessert, including our berry delicious strawberry pie for only $1.99 with the purchase of $7.99 or more at participating Big Boy locations.
What's going on, everybody? It's Spencer for the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck. You know it, you've heard about it. It's the home of the original football bowling pin game called Foaling. Multiple things you can do: host your corporate party, team building event, or just have a good time with family and friends. You can do a $12 open unlimited play, stay there all day, open till close, have a great time, or private lane reservation, $120, 10 to 12 people. You get your own lane, do whatever you want. Bring whatever kind of food you in. They don't care about that. You want drinks? They got the $2 mystery beer vending machine. Put in $2, pops out a good beer. No hassle, no fuss needed. Know what you want to make a decision. They have multiple fully loaded bars for you to choose from. So come on down to the Foaling Warehouse in Hamtramck and check them out in person or visit them online at foalingwarehouse.com. Again, that is foalingwarehouse.com.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. You know, just kind of going down that rabbit hole a little bit. Neal Ruhl with D-Mac, Darren, McCarty. Got a text from one of my buddies that said, hey, I'm watching this incredible hockey game that was tons of fun, and it just kind of hit me where I realized how far away the Red Wings are from this level. And again, both things can be true. Like, and what we were talking about, and I know I enjoy when I talk about the Larkin thing or the contract thing with the NHL. I enjoy it because you remind me, like you know, you get your dander up and stuff like that. That's good. Like the hair gets, you know, you're like a cat. The hair stands up on the back of your neck, and it's cool. No, because you and I, like we may take a different route, but we meet back when you say, It's Steve Yzerman, man. And that's why I don't care. I will ride with Steve Yzerman because of what you said. There will be no Ken Holland, Halloween candy handed out or anything like that. If it doesn't make sense, it won't get done.
And here's the thing is that I'll be the first one to admit, if whatever the plans are along the way, like say for example, there's a contract offered that Dylan doesn't like or he's not going to take. Well, there's a chance he might not be a Red Wing in the future. You know what I'm saying? Like I'm not saying he's untouchable and stuff like this, but what I'm saying is reading the tea leaves on the wall. And at the end of the day, because Stevie is so apparent to the mistakes that were made by other people along the way. Right? Like the biggest lesson in growing up in the Red Wing locker room implemented by Scotty Bowman is you're going to make mistakes. Don't make the same ones twice. Right? And don't make the big ones. Right? You make the big ones and you make the big ones a few times and then you're not winning. Right? So that's what I see and it's not just here. That's not winning joint. That's not winning joint. But because what I draw on, Neal, is not only the experience of being in the locker room, it's sitting around and being in Florida. I was in Tampa watching from a distance what Stevie was putting together down there and going, oh, I know what you're doing. Oh, okay. Oh, you guys are going to try to play hardball? Okay, let's see how we do. Oh, he doesn't care. Oh, veterans, LeCavalier, St. Louis, you're out of town. Oh, he goes out. Ooh, he got a goalie. Stevie picked a goalie in the first round. He hates goalies. Wait, what? This guy must be special. Hence, his name's Andrei Vasilevsky.
Where did Stevie get that pick from, too?
But right here in Detroit. But what I'm saying,
that one still tastes good, doesn't it, everybody?
But here's the whole thing, right? It's just the process. It's sort of like in your family. You know what I mean? The family dynamic sort of works, and in most families, I think it's set out by your grandparents and whatever. But there's a structure to the way it's done, and Steve Yzerman has a structure,
and that's why I ride with them. And you need that.
And at the end of the day, Neal, that's the beauty, because no matter what we say, it doesn't matter. We just get to go. At the end of the day, we just get into the seat and go for the ride.
Which circles back to my Brad Holmes thing, because it's the same way. There was no ridiculous Charles Harris contract. It was, hey, here's what works for us. And Charles Harris was like, okay. And then boom, there it was. There's no ridiculous long-term nonsense or anything. There's no Trey Flowers contracts that he's signing anybody to. He's cutting the Trey Flowers of the world. And a lot will tell me, too, because as you circle back with the Lions and the comps, I start looking at that salary table, and the Michael Brockers contract really sticks out when you look at the books.
Yep.
Now, will he be able, because that's his guy, right? Mm-hmm. That's his guy. Will he be able to draw the sword on it?
For sure. I mean, you saw him do it with Tyrell Williams and Rashad Bateman.
That's the next checkpoint for me with Brad Holmes is, it looks like it's a mistake. Is that a crazy hot take?
No.
Am I going to get?
Hot take.
Is the tweet going to get? Yeah. Is this going to get quote tweeted by some national source right now and say, local Detroit sports host loses his mind over the Michael Brockers? Yeah, hates Michael Brockers and his fan. No, like that's what. No, but the number again. Look at it. You guys go online and look at it now. Look at next year's cap. One of these things is not like the other.
Yeah.
One of these things just doesn't belong.
It definitely stands out. And if you're trying to trim fat, if you're trying to, make it work and get as much money as you can to possibly go after bigger free agents in the next year, he is the guy you're looking at. And especially, I think it's in, as D-Mac would say, it's in the tea leaves with how they bolstered that defensive line, how they went double 2 years in a row,
right?
2 offensive linemen back to back,
and then sign Harris,
and then sign Harris, and get both the Okwaras, and I think it's in the works.
You know what I love on that aspect, and we were the same way, is that when you draft guys, especially the same, they get to grow up together. And if they're good, then you see them develop together. That's what we had in our locker room. But on the defensive side, and especially on specific, the guy, because they'll hang out together and they'll push each other even more than having young guys throughout the locker room, in the NFL. So if these guys have the talent and then they can They come in together with a couple years separation in what they're building. How many times have we seen that? And so you have something that could.
That's
be
the way it
special.
always works.
It's supposed to work.
Yeah,
it doesn't. It never doesn't work here.
And that's my point about it. Even with you guys, with the Yankees for the most part, all these quote unquote dynasties, the empires, as people would say. They say like you guys were an empire towards the end with the acquisition of talent. What was the spine of that team? It was Sergei, Lidstrom, Yzerman, ... all drafted. You know what I'm saying? I mean, all drafted. The Yankees even back in the day. Mo Ravana, Mo Rivera, Derek Jeter. All those guys, all drafted, like all the spine. Yeah, like the whole thing was all homegrown. And that's why it all worked. So, Lane Hartman, our YouTube chat thread. McKinnon's contract isn't a fair comp, though. His next contract will be $12 to $13 million. No, Lane, which I understand. My point about it is that right now they're in the same money space. This year, secular to this year, this current season, that's the production that Colorado got for that kind of money. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And which is what part of the reason they're on a magical ride right now. Because the way it's built right now, that stuff comes to an end, certainly. But when you're in the meantime, and the Red Wings, when they pop back on, as I said, 2 years from now, when they have $63 million in cap space, they will have Verana, they will have Mo Sider, they will have Lucas Raymond for $7 million total on that team.
Here's why you're in better shape, and here's why you should look at it and feel better, right? Because this Colorado team, if you look at their salary cap and where they're at with contracts and stuff, this is this year and next year. Then they're done with this run, with this guys that they've put together for the past 5-6 years. They're supposed to have been here already, Neal, but couldn't have gotten out of the second round, right? So what we're looking forward to is building it. But what we're seeing is when we get there as this Colorado team, right? This is us in 95, 6, 7. I mean, this is the beginning of the run. Unfortunately for them, this is the end of the run because of where their contracts are, right? So this is sort of like, what is it, a 7-year, 8-year plan? Like, what is it when you get your, ultimate first rounder? What is it, an 8-year plan to win the cup if you're going to develop this kid as an 18-year-old? I mean, I don't know, maybe 5, 6, whatever it is. But in that contract thing, so to that point, with what Colorado has, they're at the expiration. This year, next year, that's
there's a ton of
it.
pressure on them, man.
So what I'm saying is, can you imagine what Stevie's trying to do is get this team here when it's the first or second year and you still have 4, 5, or 6 years. That's the beauty that we had.
Right.
We had when, even from 94 or going and winning and losing 95, we still had probably a 3 or 4 year period, right? That the nucleus of that team was going to be together till the end of 98, 99 season. So we were able to do it. So I look at that as a positive. And that's why it's so important when I look over you and say, wait, where's our draft capital and our salary cap?
Well, that's why we talk these things out,
And you go,
D-Mac.
Trey Boyno, bro. Trey Boyno.
That's why we talk about these things, D-Mac. That's why I talk to you about the Sports Marketing Agency. They help spread awareness about mental health and substance abuse disorder. Their new podcast, it's called This Is the F Word, is a series on fentanyl that helps spread awareness of fentanyl and other addiction problems that, let's be honest, folks, are plaguing our communities right now. Go to thesportsma.com. Again, if you're struggling or you know someone who is, go to thesportsma.com. The Sports Marketing Agency is here to help.
We don't like to brag that we are the toughest sports network in Detroit, but we do have a guy named Darren McCarty on our side.
Lemieux and McCarty, who've had a good knockdown drag up. There they go, right on the whistle. They were talking to one another.
Woodward Sports.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Hello? Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
Make sure you download the Woodward Sports app in the App Store and the Google Play Store today. Take Woodward Sports with you wherever you go and listen live on your phone or mobile device. Neal Ruhl here for oddstrader.com, the #1 site for all your game day bets. Begin your handicapping journey at oddstrader.com. You get play-by-play updates, live scores, and bet tracking. And all you got to do to get it is download the OddsTrader app from the App Store today. This is going to come in handy for you guys a little bit later on in the show because I have a Get Right special for you tonight. You know, I don't just pass these things out. Now, I'm going to tell you guys, price is going to be key for that. And oh, by the way, oddstrader.com can get you the best price on every game and sign-up offers for multiple sports books at oddstrader.com. Get player stats, key game stats. It's all available at oddstrader.com. Download it in the App Store today. It's oddstrader.com. Just saying, I got, the conditions are right for a Get Right tonight.
Wow.
The opportunity.
Where are we flying? Where's the plane? Which part of the country are we flying? Which time zone?
Well, you know the answer to that one.
Go off?
Yeah.
Boca Raton.
No, you know, you're not. You got to work for it a little bit.
A little bit, work for it. A little.
Actually, you don't, because I'm very, very confident in this one. You can just go to OddsTrader, get the best price, lock it in, and then go ahead and go to bed, and then get up and check your account balance. That's how it's going to be.
Wow, I like it. That's usually how it is. That's how it has been for the 17-5 record that I've been tracking with you over the past.
17-5. This is.
Oh, you put it on there? I mean, how silly was it on there? How silly was it not to throw the over on last night?
It
was too good to be true.
Yeah, it was too good to be true.
Too good to be true. So we actually threw that over and made D-Mac be responsible for it. And what was I responsible for? I had the over covered 3 minutes into the second period. I don't know what you want. Thanks for the sign, Jess. Batteries are high. Nice.
Right.
All right, what do you got?
Oh, you want it now? You guys, do we want it now? Yeah, because we'll do Ask D-Mac later.
Yeah.
Yeah, let's do it now. So, and just trust me on this one, guys. The price is a little steep. I understand that. However, with all that being said, look me in the eye and tell me the Dodgers are going to get swept at home by Pittsburgh. Look me in the eye and tell me that. You can't. You can't do it. And I know the Dodgers are minus 260. I understand that. Use OddsTrader. Get the best price. The Dodgers tonight, lock it in. Your Get Right special, whatever your units are, lay the 2.6 units to get to your unit. Whatever that number is for you. If you're a casual, $26 to win 10. If you're a little more involved, $130 to win 50. If you're feeling it, lay the 260 to win 100. It doesn't matter what the line is, to be honest with you. However much you want to win, go ahead and pencil it in because the Dodgers are not getting swept by Pittsburgh at home. It ain't happening. It's not happening. Now, you got to work for it if you want to watch it. It's a little bit later on tonight at 8 o'clock.
Oh, Pittsburgh's won already out there?
They've won 2 games at Dodger Stadium, the first 2 games of the series.
Who's pitching?
You have Mr. White for the Dodgers.
Walter White? How can you lose? You can't lose with Walt White on the mound.
You got Mitch White for the Dodgers who, the numbers are okay. They are. They're okay. You got Quintana going for Pittsburgh, who's been very, very good. The ERA is good. The record, he's got a 1-2 record. The ERA is 2.15. But again, it doesn't matter. The Pirates are 10-13 away from. I love how people do this, right? Because they'll use it to fit their narrative. I'm just telling you guys, it's a getaway. It's the getaway game of the series. Pittsburgh, no matter what happens today, they're cool with whatever happens. We went to Dodger Stadium and won the series, no matter what. Just telling you guys, the Dodgers will win tonight.
All right, there it is. He's putting that Get Right special. I like. The odds say.
That's how I roll, man.
That's how you're told.
Yeah.
There it is. Looking to go 18-5, folks. 18-5. Stay tuned. Baseball, they say it's tough to bet baseball.
No, it is because you got to lay, you got to lay some big time numbers. And if you were betting on the Dodgers when this series started, which I would never advise, you're in a hole right now. I think they were like 360 last night or 380, something like that. The Pirates beat Walker Buehler the other night. I mean, come on, guys, for real.
All right. Who would have thought? Who would have thought we'd be making baseball bets here on the Tigers?
I don't do it all the time.
No, I'm just saying.
I just do it
on the Tigers.
Yeah, I just do it when the opportunity presents itself. It's the getaway day for the Pirates on the road trip. I'm just saying, all the conditions are there, guys. Just do it. Name what you want to win and go to it. And then tomorrow we can talk about it, how it moves to 18-5. I am 17-5 in these things, D-Mac. I'm not playing around here.
That's why it's so interesting that you're putting it online. I'm not saying it's not a good bet or anything like that. It's just, I don't know. The karma thing. It feels like there's something weird going on out there.
Yeah. And GW the Kid says Pittsburgh's been playing some good baseball. They have. I mean, they for Pittsburgh. Sam Flannel, don't dismiss it's Pittsburgh.
Chuck Greer said if the Tigers don't lose again, they're going to be in the World Series.
Absolutely.
They'll win the World Series.
Yeah. Absolutely. What have they won? What, 5 out of 7?
Yeah.
Man, that's over 6. That's over 66% baseball.
Making a push, all in the division too.
Big wins.
Yeah, big wins. Climbing up that ladder.
Absolutely, screaming past the Royals. Yeah. They also passed Oakland in the wild card.
Yeah, Torkelson's hitting over 200 now.
That's not nothing.
No, that's it.
What? That's not nothing.
It's definitely something. Yeah.
Hey, speaking of that, I mean, while we're here, this is a good little segue. But you posted something on our tweet last night about some Post Malone handing a drink or something.
Yeah. You know what? Let's do that for a couple minutes here.
This is a good.
You guys have seen the Jägermeister commercial with Post Malone, right?
Yeah.
I'm not taking a shot that guy hands me.
I'm dirty.
Not. Okay. Hey,
thank you.
And I said I'm not taking the shot at Post Malone, no matter what he handles you.
Yeah.
YouTube chat poll.
Okay.
If Post Malone brings you a shot, are you going to drink it?
What did they call me when they were trying to say I looked like Post Malone? Oh, I can't remember it.
How about you?
What if he's got the flaming hot Doritos and the shot of Jagger? Who's in?
Let's go. God, man. No, but Sam Flannel, are you doing it? If Post Malone pops up from behind the bar with shots in his hand, are you drinking one?
No, I am not, because of all the famous people in the world. He is one of the scuzziest looking ones there is, and I never got how he got so popular anyway. So absolutely not. I would not take a shot from Post Malone.
Which, if people wonder how this comes about, because does anybody else you get caught? Because usually the commercials come on, and that's where you're gonna take a break or come back or whatever. But there are times I'm guessing you got caught into watching Post Malone do.
Well, the Jaeger commercial's all over the NHL playoffs,
right?
So that's I'm kind of locked into seeing
obviously, because the NHL and.
EFOG3 says free shot, LOL. Not in this case, it's not free. It comes at a substantial cost, I get the feeling.
You got to worry about it.
Interesting. I've been on a roll with these polls. Quick reaction. If Post Malone hands you a shot, are you taking it? 51-49 right now, yes. So 50-50. A lot of people are. So, D-Mac.
Savages.
In a different time in your life, you're in.
I'm all in.
Yeah, I know you
kidding
are.
Me?
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. The
Sam Flannel's a no.
The poll would have been, what's more suspect, taking a shot from D-Mac or Post Malone? Right back in the day. What are you more...
What's more sus? A shot from 2012 D-Mac or current day Post Malone?
At least now you know what you're going to get.
Sam Flannel, you would. Or Sam Flannel says no. Spencer, you would, right?
I would if it wasn't Jaeger. I'm not a Jaeger
Thank
guy.
you. And that's the other part. That's the other component of all this.
Bougie choosing what you're getting offered. Oh, I'm sorry.
Jaeger's nasty.
But that's the idea of shots are supposed to be.
Jaeger is nasty.
I was a fan.
Yeah,
I was a fan.
Jaeger is nasty. So you're not okay. Let me rephrase. D-Mac, if he comes with a shot of Jaeger. Yeah, we already established that one. 10 years ago, D-Mac certainly. Sam Flannel's a hard no.
How about this? Warm Jaeger.
Oh,
that's just, just doesn't matter. Gunk, gunk, gunk.
Oh, man.
So you're a hard no. I'm a hard no, Sam Flannel, and you're a no because it's Jaeger.
Yeah.
So 75%
pretty much
of us do.
anything
He's
else.
bougie.
I'll do it. I mean, tequila for sure.
Yeah, it's not bougie, D-Mac.
No, he's bougie.
Yeah.
I'm bougie.
He's
Okay.
bougie for not, like,
Give me
you're
a
either
shot
going to
of
take it
R&R,
or
I'll
you're
rip
not.
that.
Like, all of a sudden, it's like, oh, sorry, sir. I don't drink that swill.
Post hands me a shot of R&R or Black Velvet. I'll rip that for sure.
It's got to be late in the night for Black Velvet. And I have to have the calendar clear tomorrow.
Maybe a little E&J.
Black Velvet. Detroit Dabber 313. So this is based on his appearance.
Yes.
There's a multitude of factors that go into it.
It ain't based on his cover in Nirvana for sure.
Yeah.
Because he killed that.
He killed that for sure.
For sure. Yeah.
Hey, he's talented. I mean, but
Tammy Chin says I would take a shot with Post Malone wine. But Tammy, a shot of Jaeger. Has Jaeger run its course? I feel. And look, don't get me wrong, dude. Like I'm no saint. We all had a Jaeger phase.
yeah.
You know, usually 19 to 21. Everyone had a Jaeger phase. I drank in their life. They did. But never with Post Malone. And no, Dabber, it's not just appearance based. It's stories that you've read about his like his personal
shenanigans.
and his personal grooming choices and things like that. It's just for me, I'm not doing it.
And you look at his fingernails, and they're just.
Yeah, you guys
They're
are.
painted.
Oh God.
They're painted. You're so against. Yeah. Anyways.
Google the Hut 74. Jägermeister is the best. But Aaron Tackett, warm Jägermeister is horrendous.
I didn't say it wasn't horrendous. I'm just saying is that what you got to do is that you got to do. If you're gonna do it, you got to do it. That's all it is. I'm proud of you, Tammy. You know what? That rat Brad Marchand, he probably drinks Jaeger too.
Jack Harrington, Jaeger is gross. The away fan, Jaeger is like drinking gasoline. I'd say it's more like drinking oil.
Yeah, oil or cough syrup.
It's more of a black licorice cough syrup. Warms you from the inside. Didn't you feel it?
D-Mac, where could we put Post Malone if he came into the studio?
Well, you know what? He would have the option that everybody else does. You know what it is? He could hand out shots, and you guys could all say, no, snooty Post Malone. I'd say no because I don't drink, but I would offer him again. But instead of drinking, you know what? Because we are at the Lady Jane's global headquarters here in Birmingham. Yes, the one that serves 168 Lady Janes all throughout the country. And if he was here between 10 a.m. and 8 p.m. or in any one of them, he could sign and sit down, and before you know it, he would be looking clean. Clean enough maybe for even Spencer and Neal to say he's making good life choices, and then they would have a shot. So maybe after, who knows? He could get the King's treatment just like you can. Get into Lady Jane's, wherever they are. Why? Because Lady Jane's, it's wicked awesome. Big D Energy, Neal, D-Mac. Sammy, Flannel, and Spence here on a hump day. Woodward Sports. Be right back.
He's going deep, right side. Oh, that is Edwards out there. He goes up in the air at the goal line.
Hey, it's Brandon Edwards here, wanting to welcome the sports marketing agency to Woodward Sports Network, to the family. Glad to have you guys. For the last decade, the sports marketing agency has literally leveraged athletes around issues such as mental health and substance abuse.
Glad that we can finally start trying to get the stigma off of mental health that's been there for all these years.
You don't have to go to the beach, man. You don't have to get your butt crack full of sand. You just need a little chili peppers, man, to get that glowing beach chili peppers tan. Woo!
With 26 locations in the Metro Detroit area and more coming, Chili Peppers Tanning is where you'll find the cleanest salons in the D. Join the Pepper Club for the best deals on unlimited tanning. Head to chilipepperstanning.com.
You just need a little chili peppers, man.
Back at it, Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty. We got Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter as well. YouTube poll, just for a couple more minutes. And this was inspired. I sent it out to the group text yesterday. If you watch the NHL playoffs, every commercial break, you see the Post Malone Jaeger commercial. And he just, randomly pops up with, a bunch of shots of Jaeger in his hand. And describe the fingernails again, Spencer.
They're gross looking.
Okay.
It is not something you want around your shot.
And he's handing them out. And I texted the guys. I'm like, no way I'm taking a shot from Post Malone. No way. Do I enjoy some of his songs? Yes, I do. Like everybody else. His record sales would suggest there's a lot of people that enjoy his songs. He's got some good songs, no doubt. I enjoy them. However, I'm not taking a shot of Jaeger from him.
So if you learned two things today from BDE, it's that Neal hates Michael Brockers and Post Malone.
Take it to the streets, everybody. Go ahead. I can't wait for the Woodward social media account. To just isolate that. I'm not taking a shot from Post Malone.
He's dirty.
Yeah. I didn't say that. You did. I never said that. Please, Sean, and I'm not doing it because I know what you guys are going to do. You're waiting for me to say, please rewind the tape and tell me where I said, and then you'll clip that and do it that way. I'm smarter than that, you guys. Come on, man. I'm smarter than that. 58%. Yes is making a push right now. 58% of you say yes that you would.
Proud of you. Proud of you.
You know what I'm happy about?
Hey, Rake's letting it go. Jaeger with root beer was low key.
No.
I hate root beer too. See, root beer's too sweet.
Somebody earlier on talked about if you want.
You guys a bunch of bouges.
DMAP Zoom. I had a sip of Jaeger. Will basically put you in a diabetic coma. Trust me. That's from experience right
true.
there.
It's not true. I'm still here.
You still made it. Absolutely.
Maybe that's the problem. It's still rubbing off. From
Man Guy Frembro says Post Malone is supremely talented.
He is.
100% yes.
For sure, yeah.
Gifted by God as a musician. There's no doubt about that. I'm still not taking a shot of Jaeger from him that he offers up. I'm not. Both things can be true, my friends.
In this case, they definitely
both things can be true. NFL Draft Junkie in our YouTube chat thread brought this up before, and I think there's multiple answers to this question. Is Detroit a Tier 1 sports market? And I think that depends on how you interpret the question. I think it's a lot like MVP voting, because I've always said that about MVP voting. To me, the MVP is the best player in the league.
Mm-hmm.
If you had a fantasy draft and I could take one, that's who my MVP is. Is Detroit a Tier 1 sports market, a top 5 sport, however you want to interpret
Here's the
that.
thing. All 4 major sports now are within a stone's throw from each other, downtown in your city and stuff like this. So if you're taking away the talent of your teams and where they sit in the standings and going specifically by, do you cover 4 major sports and are they accessible in your city? Well, you're a top 10 team. I mean, I'm not even going to rank it. I'm just going, you got everything you need. You are the New Yorks. Even like, and Boston's a phenomenal sports town, but, their football's in Foxborough and stuff like this. You got LA's spread all over. New York's your, one of the biggest one. But if you look, the question to me when you brought this up is think about it. If your sports team, I'm going to flip this to you to answer the part B of the question. If you were at the top of your major sports in this city, would this not be the greatest sports city? If all 4 teams were humming and just say that they were all playoff caliber teams, not just playoff, but conference finals.
Because we were in the 90s.
Right?
In the 90s,
but we
were.
weren't as big of a sports because the Pistons were out in Auburn Hills. The Silver Dome. Yeah, everything was spread out, even though you were under Detroit sports. What I'm saying, demographically, with Ford Field, LCA, and Comerica Park, within not even walking distance, right? The fat boys can stumble there, drunk between everything. What I'm saying is what I envision in 2, 3, 4 years. If all these teams are good, is this not the epitome of what you would want your sports city to be? Doing laps downtown, can you imagine, we got the draft coming, but if that district ever got done, I mean, I would seriously want to have a spot, live downtown, just to do laps, right? From Comerica Park to Ford Field to LCA. So my question is, do I think it is? Yes, I think we're a top 10 sports city, but I think we have the ability to be the best just because of locale and everything if you're good. Where else has what we have?
And I would say, and look, people are asking for definitions. And again, I kind of leave that up to you. That always sparks for a better debate.
You can't put like a
We're not talent-wise.
You got to have all four teams.
Talent-wise, we're not. Talent-wise, we are absolutely not even close, right? But what we are set up for, where are your stadiums, right? Your accessibility. Where would you? My question is, where would you? What other city has a setup like ours that can be that way? We've experienced in the 90s what it was like to have the teams to be the tier, but we were spread out, right? I'm just saying, like, looking forward, like, this is where you want to be.
Lane Hartman says, number one,
Yes.
New York City, L.A., Chicago. Tier 2s are Philly, Dallas, Bay Area, Atlanta, Houston, D.C., Boston, Detroit, and that's what I think success plays a part in it to some degree. So it's moving, like it's a moving target, because I would say dollar for dollar. I mean, if you look at the '90s, Detroit was just as good as anybody else. I mean, you had the Pistons win a title, you had the Wings win a couple titles. Mm-hmm. You know, you had the Lions that were in a conference championship game.
Am I wrong to say, is anything like, I know that Chicago has the state, like, but in the proximity of what we have downtown?
Well, I don't think, because like you look at New York and Chicago and LA, it's just they're such massive cities. You know what I'm saying? Like, I think logistically, like, you couldn't pull that off. You know what I'm saying? And that's a whole nother discussion.
I don't care the why, Neal.
Yeah.
Right? The why is irrelevant. I'm just asking a question. Is it not set up to what it was to be? Like, you're going to want to be, man. I'm thinking of sitting here like 2, 3, 4 years going, we got the best city because I can walk from here to here to here. I know the other cities are bigger and not set up that way, but I'm saying...
Well, I would say this, too, and this has always been a big problem that I've had. See, these other cities, too, like, you can just, get on a train and go to a different part of the city, and it's really wild. The train pulls up, and you get off, and you're there. And then when you're done, like, you get back on the train, and then the train takes you back to wherever it was you came from. It's wild.
See, I think a big part of the whole Tier 1 situation is cities that are able to host multiple sports franchises in the same sport, and they still thrive. Like, obviously, New York, because it's so big, they can do the Yankees and the Mets. They can do the Giants and the Jets.
When you're talking about like 15 million people in and around there.
Same with LA. They can, Clippers, Lakers. They can do all that kind of Angels, Dodgers. And these teams are in the same city, but
Bay
all
Area,
still equally thriving. And so I think that's really what sets it apart. And Boston is like the outlier because they've just been title town for so long. They have so many championships with the Bruins and the Red Sox and the Patriots, obviously, and the Celtics. So it's hard not to put them in there because they've had so
Your Tier
dominant.
1 setup facility-wise. Your Tier 5 talent-wise.
Yeah.
Right? No. When you bring it, but as the teams get better, I mean, I know what's going to happen down there because I've seen it with the parades and stuff like this. But as the teams get good, people will come down. You mentioned we got the Q line. Don't mention that.
Oh, people are talking about the People Mover too.
Oh, it's back, free this month.
Is it back? It's still going.
It's free this month.
It's back up and going.
I believe.
I went to go use it opening day, and like it wasn't running.
Right, but that's the biggest thing down here. But what I'm saying is that, like, to be able to walk through everything, now you need talent. We just haven't had the talent here in 10 years.
And we got a couple of things on here. Clomp Sauce, and I knew I should have qualified this because I knew that this was going to happen. Clomp Sauce says Philly, Boston, Chicago all fit within our city limits, and yes, we are an incredibly large city in terms of space, but that's the problem. It's a lot of open space.
Yeah.
So I get the technicalities on it. I'm not taking that into account because that just doesn't matter to me. Co-opzilla, and I lost the exact comment. But he defined it as, the ability to draw players, all that kind of stuff, which is interesting because
I got it right here. It's Tier 1 means you're capable of getting top tier talent. Players don't care where they play as long as they're winning. As long as you're winning regularly, you're Tier 1. That's fair.
Yeah, and that's again, it's up to you. So you guys are free to interpret it any way you want. And it's just in the 90s, I do believe that we were there, that we were that. And I've always said too, I think Detroit as a sports city gets sold way short because there are 2 Division I universities too that everybody backs. You know, in Michigan and Michigan State, that's kind of a part of that metro area, where they'll put 100,000 in Michigan Stadium or 70,000 in Spartan Stadium on a weekend, and then that next day Ford Field will be sold out.
Yeah, and it's definitely, we look at the history of Detroit too, sports, Detroit athletes, like we've been blessed. A lot of teams, a lot of cities can't say they've had arguably the best wide receiver and running back of all time, arguably the best hockey player of all time, the best defensive hockey player of all time. Like it's tough. Like when you can say you have Gordie Howe, Nick Lidstrom, Calvin Johnson, and Barry Sanders all from the same city, there's not a lot of teams or cities that can say they have that caliber of again, Miguel Cabrera, the list can keep going on. Justin Verlander, Ty Cobb, different guys like that. It's important. That plays a factor for sure.
Verlander in that list.
What's that?
You threw Verlander in that list.
Verlander's one of the best pitchers of our generation, of my generation. Hands down.
For the Astros, I agree.
What did I say? I said you threw him on that list.
He definitely
doesn't.
doesn't.
That was all I said, is you threw him on that list that he doesn't belong to be on.
He definitely doesn't.
I'm not arguing with you of your generation pitchers. I'm arguing with you of the list you put him on.
Yeah, he's definitely not up there with that is disrespectful for Gordy and Nick and
Thank you.
And Barry and Calvin and yeah.
You know what? Sometimes
and Miggy.
Sometimes problems solve themselves.
Yeah.
Spencer, well done.
I just wanted you to talk it out, bro.
And I figured that this was going to happen
That's how you
too.
think of a pitcher.
That especially when I dropped the little train comment on there. I'm sorry, like that blows my mind every single time. When I go to Lauderdale, they have a train.
When I go to Lauderdale,
like Lauderdale, Miami,
I know
they have a train that goes from West Palm Beach to the cruise ports, all the way down to Miami to the airport, everywhere.
How far is that?
Oh, it's like almost a 2-hour drive from Miami, probably longer than a 2-hour drive from Miami to West Palm Beach. Like the Tri-Rail, you can, and when I go to see my buddy and I have to go to the airport, it's $5 to jump on the train and it drops me off at the airport. From it's a 30-minute drive to the airport from where I stay. I get on the train and I'm there for $5. Like that's and yes, and I know like Mr. Privy says, Neal, the city's working on a new train station development designed to accomplish better logistics for travel. FJ 1967, you're right, Neal. In Denver, you can take the train from the suburbs right to the Broncos Stadium. Could you imagine that?
That would be so sick.
If you could just be at home and take a short Uber ride to the station and get on a train and go to the Lions game and take the train back home.
I mean, I only have like a 15-minute drive downtown from my house, but if I could just walk over to Van Dyke and hop on a train that drops me off at LCA, that would be so sweet.
Well, it'd be like meeting right here. We're the headquarters at Woodward and Maple or whatever. It's like walking in here and then there's like a GO train.
And AC says it best, we need infrastructure. Yes, we do, my friend. And a bunch of our listeners that live in different places. Born Cool says, is Neal humble bragging again? No, I was just telling you about the places that have mass transit. It's a weird concept. I get it that we don't understand it, but that's what it is. Let me tell you what else is. Summertime. I know not officially, but once Memorial Day happens, it's officially summertime. And it is officially the summer of Citron, which is now available at your local Kroger. Make sure you pick some up the next time you are out grocery shopping. Give it a spin if you haven't tried it yet. 2 for $4. That's it. Grab a couple of different flavors, give it a spin, and you'll be back for more. Citron is the new energy drink for the active lifestyle. Proud partners with the Detroit Pistons, the Detroit Red Wings, and Detroit City FC. All summer long, everybody. Drink it. Live it with Citron.
New to the game or a season better? OddsTrader.com has everything you need to make the right bet ahead of kickoff. Begin your handicapping journey with OddsTrader. Improve your edge by finding the best price on every game from sportsbooks in your backyard. Take advantage of the numerous sign-up bonus offers to pad your bankroll. Dive into key game statistics, player performance, and even account for the projected game day weather. Best of all, you can use the OddsTrader bet tracker to keep a log of your action. Welcome to OddsTrader, and best of luck.
When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. Big Frog in Novi. With no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround, you can have your whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl, and screen printing, Big Frog has it all in all the styles you want. So whether it's a sports team, fundraiser, school event, or corporate needs, Big Frog is your one-stop destination. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4-BIG-FROG.
D-Energy, Woodward Sports Network, Neal Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty here. He is in the building. Trust me about that. We have Sam Flannel. We got Spencer Raxter as well. We got all of you. Happy to have you along for the ride. Wrap up our YouTube chat poll. And this goes in line with I'm sure a lot of you have watched the NHL playoffs, and the Post Malone Jägermeister commercial is played roughly every other commercial break. And so I asked the question. I texted these guys that last night. I said, I'm sorry, but if Post Malone walks out with his hands on a bunch of shots of Jägermeister and he's handing them out, I don't want one. And Spencer Raxter, of all people, agreed with it. And look, we saw Spencer at opening day.
Yeah.
He was living his best life.
Oh, yeah.
We saw him at the golf outing at the Worst Open up in Frankenmuth.
Mm-hmm.
We saw you and Easy out in the parking lot.
Oh, yeah.
We know what you guys are capable of.
Well,
we
thanks
know,
for the chicken, by the way.
No problem.
we know how you live. We know where you are. That's Spencer Raxter saying, yeah, no, I'm good, Post. Thanks, brah.
That's how I get down. And it's the Jaeger, like I said.
It's a combination of the fingernails, of the Jaeger.
Yeah,
it's less fingernails, more Jaeger.
Yeah.
For them, though. It's
yes,
more.
less fingernails, more Jaeger for sure.
Yeah.
But, it's still a factor.
Yeah, so we're wrapping up that discussion. Is Detroit kind of that tier 1 sports city? But as we close out the poll, if Post Malone hands you a shot of Jaeger, are you taking it? And 60% of you say yes. So you guys close strong on that. I'm not saying that we're better than everybody else here, Spencer, but maybe we're just cleaner than everybody else.
Oh, hey. I'll say we're better than everybody.
Well, I didn't want to say it because they'll kill me.
Yeah.
So I'm just glad. I'm just glad that you did. Jack Harrington just reiterates Jaeger is gross.
Thank you.
So there you go. Aaron Tackett wants to know real. You know what? Ask D-Mac. I'll give you a special. We do that at 12:50 every single day because there's an appetite for it. Real quick, D-Mac, can I get a single game parlay for the Lightning and the Rangers tonight? That's a little deep.
Yeah, you got to go Lightning and over.
Lightning and the over?
Yeah. Well, actually, you know what? Like, I take the over. It's 5.5.
So if you like the over, then you like Kucherov to score.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
What about Braden Point?
He's not playing.
Yeah.
No?
Well, let's not get too cute with it. Let's just stick to the fundamentals.
But here, so if I'm breaking this game down, right, and I'm going into it that it's at home in the Rangers, the benefit that I was talking about for Tampa Bay, being an older team and needing the rest and stuff like that, is the same way as the younger team in the Rangers just getting back at it. So they're going to be ready to play. If you look at the Rangers on it early, I'd almost say it's funny because, the Rangers haven't lost at home. If they're going to win, they're probably going to win this one because maybe it takes Tampa to get back on. But I see it like a 4 overtime game, like 4-3, something like that. Kucherov, if you're going to put
if you want to spice it up.
If you want to spice it up, Kucherov to score, but I think that Chris Kreider is also another good one to score.
So if you want to swing for the fences.
He's for the Rangers. He'd be my Rangers guy to score because their power play's starting to click. He's starting to heat up, and Kucherov to score too. So one of those two guys to score with I guess if the Rangers should win this game. If Tampa comes out and wins this game, it's going to be a short series. But I expect Tampa to win. I expect it to be 1-1 going back into Tampa. And that's where they're dominant. So for Neal, So either take Kreider or Kucherov, or take both. Hey, you know what? Take both of them. Take the over. It's plus 900. There you go.
Okay. So there you go. Aaron Tackett, Kucherov anytime goal. Yes, that's where we're at. That's where we're at with it. I did want to talk about this. The Lions, and I got accused on social media when we had this discussion before. I got accused on social media of overstating it and really making too much of it. Aaron says I'm swinging Neal and D-Mac. So there you go. All right, so Kucherov to score, Kreider to score, Tampa to win, the over to hit.
And you got to take the shot from post, and you're good. There it is.
No, you certainly don't have to do that. Somebody asked me in the YouTube chat thread, they said, would you take a shot of Gypsy from Post Malone? I wouldn't take it from him, but I would do one with him, like in the circle. If we had the bartender pour it and hand it to me, and you'd be on board with that, I assumed?
Yeah, I'd take a shot of Gypsy from him.
Would you?
Probably. I'd have
with those fingernails?
Yeah, I'd have to look, like inspect.
Yeah, I love the way Spence is double clutching, man.
I'd have to inspect it first. make sure everything's good. But I mean, vodka kills a lot of germs, so
that is true.
Yeah.
All right, but getting back to the whole crux of the discussion. You know what? You guys want to talk about it real quick? Just throw this on the YouTube poll. Is Jaeger gross? Yes or no?
That should be 100% yes.
Let's just. There seems to be an appetite
man,
for it.
A lot of us like cough syrup.
Is Jaeger gross? Yes or no? Okay, let's get the train back on the tracks here, but we are doing the poll. Okay, D-Mac, here we go. You ready?
Yeah.
Pro Football Focus says the Lions have the third best offensive line in football.
Okay.
And you know that some people said that I was overselling it. They listed the top 5 offensive lines. The Eagles 1, the Browns 2, the Lions 3, the Buccaneers 4, and the Packers 5. And I've said that this was a no-doubt top 10 in the league. In my opinion, a no-doubt top 5 in the league. The Pro Football Focus, who is not the end-all be-all. You know what's funny about the Pro Football Focus stuff, D-Mac? We always use it. And I say we, I mean everybody in this industry always uses
fit your
it.
narrative until it doesn't fit your narrative.
And then we're like, but it's Pro Football Focus. They're not the end-all, be-all. So we always have to put that qualifier out there. So that makes me laugh.
I think it goes with everything else, right? You put it in the hopper of information. And the fact that, to me, it doesn't matter if you're 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I think that being in the top 5, and especially in preseason polls, it just lets me know that, okay, I'm not the only one thinking this way. The big thing is why they're up there, and obviously they think the same way, is the impact that Frank Ragnow is going to have from being out last year, being your all-pro guy. They got to where they did without their best player. That's all I'm saying. And he was around, and he was an influence, but now when you have a Penei Sewell, who the growing pains, learning at a different position, right? But these guys are just getting better, and it goes back to the fact of what it was I talking about position groups growing up together or being around each other a lot. That's what we've been hearing about. What I like is because what I heard out of a Dan Campbell regime before I even knew what a Dan Campbell regime was, and it was always just talk, was we're going to build from the offensive line, offensive, defensive line, in the pit, in the trenches. Well, you know what, Neal? Going into the second training camp, going into the second year of it, and Pro Football Focus has you number 3, well, it seems to me that maybe that you've executed your plan, or your plan is still being executed, and you got to like where it's at. Now, you still got to go out and produce, but what you're saying and what you've been telling the people ain't you blowing smoke up their ears. It's what a lot of football people also believe. And to me, like you said, the most important thing is that are they a top 10? Are they a top 5? Yeah, they could arguably be the best one in the league. But they should be up there as an asset. This is an asset to your football team, which means moving forward, which the coach told me that it was going to be the number 1 priority, and it's shown to me that it has been. So this is their identity.
And
right?
Joseph Austin, our YouTube chat thread, says build the trenches. And no matter how this ends up working out, I think that unilaterally, because this is what we've clamored for, right? And I say we, like as the Lions. Isn't that the thing you've always heard about through the
building the trenches?
Yeah, through the Millen regime with Mike Williams and the Roy Williams, and later on Calvin, which that one turned out okay.
Mm-hmm.
But through all that, what was the big criticism?
Oh, we got to build from the inside out. You got to build from the trenches, which is true. I agree with them, and that's what they're doing. That's what Holmes is doing.
Yeah, but you got to. So when you say that, you have to have the right pieces in the trenches.
Yeah.
You can't. Some people say we're going to build from the trenches and then pick the wrong guys.
Yeah, and that's Patricia.
I'm gonna build a defensive checking line.
Yeah.
Can't check their nutsack. I mean, you got to be able to execute and got to be able to do that. You look at the growing, like the biggest thing is the fact you look at like Penei Sewell, and we can argue all we want is change him from left tackle to the right side, but it's so efficient. Yeah, it's so he's so efficient and fitting in. What does it make, right? The value of all these guys being interchangeable. What I see is that it's not just, he plays this position, he goes down, we're done. No, it's an 8-man, 5-man unit, right? It's interchangeable, intertwinable, and they're only as good as the guy beside him.
Absolutely. All I know is with this offensive line, Jared Goff has a lot of guardians.
He's got an enormous amount of guardians. And it's the second best thing to having guardian alarm is having the Detroit Lions offensive line protecting you. So you guys, you're not Jared Goff, so you can't have the offensive line, but you can have guardian alarm. And because guardian alarm's your local security experts. I tell you every day, they keep you safe. They give you peace of mind. They let you monitor and see your house and do everything right from your little phone like this. So since the offensive line of the Lions is going to be busy protecting Goff, I'm going to give you a phone number. You can call, be part of the Guardian Alarm, Woodward Sports, Big D Energy family. Ready? 1-800.
Stay out.
That's 1-800.
Stay out.
Okay, we want all of us. Got to be protected like Guardian Alarm. So give them a call. 1-800.
Stay out. Get out of my house.
Get out of the house. Stay out of there. 70, I believe. Is it 70 days today?
Mm-hmm.
That was 68.
68. That's close enough to 70. You never know. It's the new 69. Yes, 68, the new 69. Guardian Alarm. They'll let you know that. Tell them. Woodward Sports, Big D Energy sent you.
Hi, my diamonds. It's Crystal with an X. You want to get hot and perfect like me? Here's my super easy routine. Drink at least a gallon of water before you wake up. Attach a weight to everything in your house. Sell your car and just sprint everywhere. Scream when you exhale.
Don't follow Crystal with an X. Do your own thing at Planet Fitness with tons of equipment and free fitness training in our clean and spacious clubs. Join now for just $10 a month and cancel anytime.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Krogers, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You can get dope like me. You know what? Why wait? Great taste, guaranteed.
Neal Ruhl here for Chili Peppers Tanning, where you can join the Pepper Club, get the best deal on all your unlimited tanning options. They'll beat all the competitors' prices on everything else by at least $5. Chili Peppers has the hottest bulbs, the hottest deals, and the darkest tans, 26 locations. There's more on the way. Find the one that's closest to you at chilipepperstanning.com.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life.
Every day is. Pushing through the show, flying by again, man. Zach Kadoff says Jaeger is nasty. We got it on the, this is from the Post Malone NHL commercial for Jägermeister. Is Jaeger gross? 66% of you say yes. But the math's unequal right now because 60% of people said that they would take a shot of Jaeger.
They cap.
That's cap, bro.
Chat caps. We know it.
Which is it?
Yeah.
All I want from you guys, all I've ever asked for is consistency, D-Mac. That's all. That's what I demand of myself. That's what I demand of you.
They're consistently savage. I like it. Consistently savage.
Let's just do it this way. I'll pretend I'm talking to my
you
son.
don't like the fact that
Can one person in the YouTube chat, one person in our YouTube chat just say, it was me, I was one of the ones that lied? I'm just looking for one, and I'll feel a lot better about the situation. That's all I want. Is that fair?
Yeah, that's fair.
Just one person. Just say, I said it was nasty, but I said I would take a shot of Jaeger from Post Malone in his fingernails. Because that's what you said. We didn't say it like that, but that's what you said.
That's worse. You have the Jaeger and the fingernails? Just adds on.
You're not, dude, it's a shot. Gosh, Darren, wow. This is what we coming to, right? Clutch and grab, holy cow. I was fouled. Call your own fouls, right? Call your own fouls. Sam, what's that? Ooh, you got me on the arm. Get lost.
Oh, man.
Drink it up, suck it up. Here we go. See, you know what? I don't know. Maybe I should penalize you and take away your gypsy vodka. I mean, that'll teach you because you're drinking so top.
What did I do wrong? I'm honest. You asked me for honesty, I give it to you.
You do, but you don't believe. See, but you don't believe that other people are being honest. They're savages out there.
Because I go by this little thing like math. 60% of you can't tell me that yes, I would take a shot of Jaeger from Post Malone in his fingernails, and then 67% of you tell me that Jaeger's gross. Which is it? Which one you doing?
Well, obviously, guys, I got this. We got a lot of alcoholics watching the show. Okay, like this. Don't blame it on them. It's not about enjoying the thing. It's like taking a shot with Post Malone.
And Post Malone doesn't have the best
And if we're doing shots,
taste.
I mean, like he's pouring it out, so it's not like technically his fingers. Like you don't really have to see him. Like just avoid him. Forget about it.
And he drinks Jaeger and he loves Bud Light. So I mean,
sauce.
Wait,
Sauce.
you said that. You said that like you were turning your nose up.
Bud Light's the worst beer out.
Miller Lite's the worst beer.
No.
I'd rather drink a Miller Lite than a
Foster's
Bud Light.
is worse.
You and Ronnie
Way
Gemsheim.
worse.
You and Captain Sunset.
I'm a
Miller
Labatt
Lights.
guy.
Thank goodness.
I'm a Labatt guy. I like
Stick
Labatt.
coffee.
But
PBRs.
Bud Light is terrible.
Molson Triple X.
Okay.
I think you're missing the point. I think that just people are in for the free shot. They don't care what
That
it
is-
is. And the fact that
that's
if you
true.
give them the choice at the end of the day, Jager's gross, but I'm taking the free shot. How many times have you been at the bar where it's round of shots and it's like, oh man, and
Yeah,
guy's
but it
gonna buy
didn't come.
Jagger
It didn't
tequila?
come from Post Malone's fingernails. Post Malone wasn't there handing out the shot.
So technically, it's about Post Malone's fingernails. It ain't about taking the shot.
No.
Or it ain't about what we're
Both things
drinking.
can be true, D-Mac. It's the Jaeger in combo with
How
Post
about if
Malone's
Post
fingernails.
Malone had gloves on serving you Jager shots?
Are we talking about like CDC approved gloves?
Yes.
Or are we talking about like the stuff where people put their hands in fire to like shape glass?
Whatever makes.
If he had the gloves that you put on and put your hand in an oven and shape glass with them, then yes, I would take it then.
Okay,
But he
so-
doesn't pour it.
So
He's just handing it to me.
So at the end of the day, as long as Post Malone, you'd stand there and do a shot with Post Malone, even if it was Jagger, as long as he didn't pour it with his dirty fingernails.
There you go.
There you go. We got to it.
And then you know what? I would feel just like a rock star.
There you go.
Yeah, like
All right.
a rock star.
Okay.
I think you're just hating a little bit too much on Jagger. I mean,
No, the people say we're not. I mean, 65% of the people say we're not.
Not hating on Jagger?
No, 65% of people say that Jaeger's gross.
Okay.
So they agree.
But, well, yeah, because it reminds you of cough syrup or black licorice, and people don't like
It's
that,
the black
but some
licorice.
other people do.
The cough syrup I can deal with.
But it's the black licorice.
black
and Some of
licorice.
us like that little, like...
Nobody likes black licorice.
I do. Nobody likes
Oh
kettle
my
corn
God.
or candy corn.
Nobody likes candy
We
corn.
can agree with
Look,
that.
Circus peanuts, black licorice,
Give me some black licorice.
and candy corn. Nobody in the world. Those peanut butter things that come in the orange or the black wrapper that have been around since last
those
Halloween.
are awesome. Oh yeah, the peanut butter candy with the
You unwrap it, you bite it, and your teeth shatter.
No,
yeah, because
you
no
gotta
one
get
else has
the
had it in a
toffee
year.
ones. Come on, man.
The
When's
Biddo
Halloween?
honeys.
We're like 6 months out, right?
Now you're wrong.
Whoppers.
You're wrong. The Biddo honey.
Whoppers are up
Oh,
there.
the Biddo honey
honey.
is gross. Listen, we could do a whole thing on this.
We do. Wait
What's
till
worse?
Halloween.
So
what are we doing here? What
what's
happened?
worse, Jagger or candy corn?
See what Post Malone's done to all. Oh, what's worse?
No, I mean like taking candy
corn's
corn.
worse. Candy corn's
yeah,
worse.
See, you'd take if you had to, gun to your head, you're taking the Jagger shot. You're taking the Jagger shot from dirty Post Malone's hands, as opposed to ever taking the candy corn.
Yeah, would you rather eat candy corn out of Post Malone's
No,
hands?
he's taking the shot.
Jagger shot?
Anyways. Drink
I truly can we answer this
you wouldn't
tomorrow?
have this problem if you'd all just drink gypsy vodka.
Yeah. Well, can I answer this question tomorrow for real?
Yes.
Mark me out. Like, keep me honest. I need time to deliberate on this. I can't make this kind of decision right here on the spot.
Okay.
I have to think about all sides of it.
It's got to be like 5 pieces of candy corn out of his palm, or a shot of Jaeger from him.
Yeah, I mean, I would take the shot because it's not like the liquid's
Is
on the inside of the glass.
With the CDC gloves, out of the gloves, he's got gloves on with the candy corn in his hand, or the shot that he pours to you. Like
that's good.
That's pretty.
Yeah. That's
Maybe
pretty
we'll
cool.
get Easy in here to play the role of Post Malone tomorrow.
Who is this? Calgary Guy 911 says, Neal, just because you don't like something doesn't mean everybody else is the same.
Thank you.
When it comes to candy corn, yes, everybody else in the world is the same.
Candy corn sucks.
And if you say you're not, you're lying to be special. You're lying to be contrarian. You're lying. Not only are you lying to me, which I can handle, but you're lying to yourself, my friend, to yourself. Don't do that. I'm your friend. Yeah, we're here every day. A lot of you watch the show every day. I don't want to see you do that to yourself. You're just doing it to be a contrarian. So yes, in that case, yes. What I like or what I don't like, everybody else in the world doesn't like too.
That's fair.
Yeah, no, that's fair. The candy corn I'm not going to go with, but it'll be interesting. Stay tuned tomorrow to see Neal's answer in the Post Malone.
Justin was in the chat saying he loves circus peanuts and black licorice.
Right on. Well, he's got style.
He's
I don't know about
lying
the circus
too.
peanut. The black licorice, though. You know, I mean, it's.
Chef Chris Smith, heel Neal. How am I being a heel?
You're always a heel.
How?
But your hate on Michigan, your.
Where's their hate on Michigan?
No, not today. You know, your facts and all your stuff. I don't know. The people don't like you when you tell the truth.
Your
when you
Michael
tell
Brockers
facts.
hate.
Oh, that's right. My Post Malone hatred.
Post Malone
Michael
hatred.
Brockers.
Why do you hate Post Malone's music, even though I tell you I like it?
You hate cleanliness. You hate. There's a lot of things. I thought heel Neal's that's a good rub. We got to get you stickers.
That is a good one.
Zach Kadoff says candy corn would do far better than Jaeger in the poll. All right. I'm going to attempt one more time to get this show back on the rails when we come back from the break. However, I'll engage. Let's put it on the YouTube poll. What's worse, Jaeger or candy corn? That's it.
This pains me to write this poll.
What's worse, Jaeger or candy corn? If candy corn doesn't win, then we're never doing a poll again because you're all lying. And look, I respect a difference of opinion. 100% I do. Not in this case, though.
It's fair.
Okay?
Yeah.
Well, it's up there, guy. Knock yourselves out. We're going to do the commercials now. We're going to come back, and I'm going to try to talk about the Lions' offensive line. Can we do that one time? D-Mac,
Yes,
can you
we
help
can.
me? Can we do that?
Yes.
I've been trying to do it now for 15 minutes, and you guys want to talk about Post Malone's fingernails and Jägermeister. Can we do it?
Yeah.
And how I'm a heel because I don't like circus peanuts and candy corn when nobody else does either. But I'm the bad guy. So go ahead, knock yourself. What's worse?
Tell them about something we do like, though.
Yeah.
Man, Spencer Raxter proved that he loves Strawberry Fest at Big Boy because it is back. And they brought back some of the classic breakfast items. The strawberry French toast, the strawberry pancakes, the official breakfast of Spencer Raxter, the strawberry waffle. 2 segments, 2 strawberry waffles. He wanted a third, but Spencer, I said, don't do that. Not here right now. If you're not feeling breakfast, try the new strawberry bacon wrap, the crispy chicken wrap, the nacho wrap, or the strawberry salad. The perfect recipe for springtime. And look, let's be real. we're here at this point of the commercial right now, and you're at this point of the meal, you've gone too far to turn back and not get a slice of the strawberry pie for just $1.99 with a $7.99 purchase at participating Big Boy locations. Again, guys, I tell you this every single time. It's math. If you don't get the slice of strawberry pie for $1.99, you're losing money. Look up economic theory. It's all explained to you right there. I won't go into detail. I'll just tell you, Strawberry Fest is back at your local participating Big Boy.
Get a shot up. This is for the win. All of Detroit's sports teams live on Woodward. All of Detroit's sports coverage lives on Woodward Sports. Driving the best in Detroit sports coverage.
It's a great day to get some Centron in your life. Okay. There it is. Centron, here we go. Gotta grab the cranberry. Oh wait, it's 2 for $4. Gotta double up with the classic as well. Centron World, baby. Centron, available at select Kroger's, and if you wanna know how, go to @CentronWorld.com. You get dope like me.
Fellas, let's be honest. We like things to be easy. We like simple stuff, like sports 7 days a week. We like things uncomplicated, like Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Sign in, sit down, watch your favorite team play. And before you know it, your hair will be game ready. Open 10 to 8, 7 days a week. Walk in anytime. Lady Jane's Haircuts for Men. It's wicked awesome.
Thank you to all the fans for making Woodward Sports your #1 online destination for Detroit sports. We promise not to drop the ball.
Back at it, trying to talk sports here on Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Neal, Ruhl, D-Mac, Darren McCarty, Spencer Raxter, and Sam Flannel. YouTube chat poll right now. What's worse? Let's take it right to the streets. Jaeger or candy corn? Candy corn. 52% of the people say candy corn is worse. Dave Schultz, Neal, would you let your daughter date a guy who likes candy corn? Absolutely not. And this isn't for the show. This isn't to entertain you. That is a fact. No. As a matter of fact, that'll be the first question. Now, she's 7 right now, so I have some time to get my thought process in order.
But do not think that Neal's not going to be watching some of these Halloween extravaganzas as these, in the next few years. Who's the one? Hey, honey. You got that dreaded candy corn. Who'd you trade with? Because there's a kid. Yeah. Who's the boy that's trading you for all the candy corn? Because we're going to stay away from him. So my daughter comes home from the Halloween party, and she's got the bag of candy. Oh, baby girl, who gave you this candy corn? Oh, that was Ethan. Yeah. Okay.
We'd never talk to Ethan.
That's again. It. No, exactly. Or what about the kid that said, "Hey, Dad, I got rid of all my. Where's your candy corn?" No, Jeremiah. Jeremiah got all my candy corn. You make sure you run up and you want to go. Right, exactly. You might be doing a Google search on his parents. What kind of
see if it starts
raised.
At home.
Right.
Does this type of behavior start at home
That's
or no?
That's what I'm saying. We got to get to the source of this stuff.
All right, so it's up there. Candy corn, 53% of the vote. It's good to see there's still some honest people out there. It's good to see. Ryan's really reaction. Candy corn sales explode in Michigan's 2022. No, it won't. Because it never explodes. Because every time you go there, there's always the same amount of candy corn bags on the shelf. And it doesn't matter what time of the year you go there. It's always the same amount of them because no one ever buys them. And then they take it off, they put it in a box, and because it's pure chemical wax, they can just put it back on the shelf the next year. And no one will buy it again. Then they put it back in the box, and the next year they put it back out there. That's the way it works. It's
chemical wax. It reminds me of those. Remember those lips you used to get? Those wax lips you used to put in as a kid or whatever. That's what.
It made me think of those soda pop candies.
Yeah.
It made me think that's what candy corn is made of. Is the outside of that stuff.
Joseph Austin sending a bag of candy corn to Woodward Sports Network.
We're gonna burn it.
Yeah, burn it.
Hey, easy. Swedish elite
insider.
Insider, yes. Send it to him.
There you go. All right. Want to talk about the Lions' offensive line. Been trying to do it. Third best offensive line, according to Pro Football Focus.
You like it? You happy?
Rack said getting your info from Pro Football Focus. What did he say? Getting your info from Pro Football Focus Well, I forget what he said.
Something about Chris Sims.
Yeah, it's like getting your info from Chris Sims.
But it is a balance, right? It is a balance. And I don't think, to the defensive Pro Football Focus, their team polls or their positional players are usually pretty much, the one thing you got to take here is not the fact that you're number 3. This ain't about being 1 or 2. It's about, are you a top 5? Are you a top 10? Where does your unit, where is it viewed in the league, right? Because that is huge, Neal. And if you're viewed as a top 5 offensive unit, that means that the legitimacy of what we saw last year, no matter who you put as running back, right, to put 4-point-something yards on the ground per carry. It means, the committee there, which is you look to the why. Why are we going to be successful? Why will if we're going to be successful, is Jared Goff going to be able to get the ball out to Williams, to St. Brown, to Hawk? Why is that? Because he's going to be protected, right? Running, or what it tells me, a top 5 offense, it means you're good at the run and you're good at the pass, right? It's not just your top 5 offenses, Neal, aren't the fact that they're not really good all around, right? They're all around great, which means you're going to be top 10 in running and at least top 10 in or top 5 in passing defense. Either way, the numbers even out.
This just popped in my head too, and this is where I'll get Sam Flannel involved in the conversation, because Sam Flannel has gone on record to say that DeAndre Swift will lead the NFC in rushing next year, which this is data that.
Oh, come on.
He has said,
that was rude.
Let's just bring
way worse takes than that. I like where this kid's head's at right now.
Let's just bring everybody up to speed with where Sam Flannel's at. So that, number one, he has proclaimed that DeAndre Swift will lead the NFC in rushing. He has proclaimed that Aiden Hutchinson will get 12 sacks. He will be the NFL Defensive Rookie of the Year. He will be a Pro Bowler. Right?
Right.
Okay, that's in stone. This piece of data suggests that maybe he's not being as absurd as we all thought that he was. With that said, though, Sam Flannel, because you have made those proclamations, but you have also said that they are an 8-win football team.
Yes.
All these pieces that are coming together right now, if this all happens the way that a lot of people are saying this, Sam, you better get comfortable with Jared Goff being your quarterback, because hey, if this is the third best offensive line in football, then they're going to be a good football team, right? Right?
I mean, theoretically, yes. I don't believe in Jared Goff, but if he just plays okay, average, and doesn't turn the football over and just hands it off to DeAndre Swift, throws short passes to Amon-Ra, Hawkinson, Jamison Williams, this offense could be very, very good. And if they can somehow get to 9-10 wins, which I don't think they will, but if they can, I don't see how Jared Goff, you don't sign him, and I don't want that. But if he actually plays well and the offense functions well, that's what we all want. And if Jared Goff can be that guy, even though he's a game manager, I know Spencer's shaking in his boots right now, but it could happen.
But D-Mac, if you have an elite offensive line, elite in the National Football League, if you have a good receiver room, if you have one of the best running backs in the NFC, if you have one of the best defensive lines in the NFC, which if Aiden Hutchinson's at a 12-sack level, you're going to be in the discussion.
I don't know about that. I think Aiden Hutchinson is clearly the number one guy on that defensive line, and around him, it's still pretty weak, although we'll see what we get from Josh Pascal.
And Charles Harris.
Why would you not set that? Is not 8 sort of the number, half the sacks of Hutchinson? But all this we're talking about is availability, right? The guys stay healthy and stuff like this. But to what you're telling me is what they're doing. They're making it apparent the Detroit Lions is putting everything around or whatever and saying, Goff, here's your ball. Prove to us that you're the guy. Because at the end of the day, Neal, going to you for salary cap and draft capital and signing or whatever, you want him. The way you're setting this team up, you want him to be the guy.
What happened outside?
It is, yeah.
I knew that.
What happened?
My body's
it's
a barometer, right? You see me looking around for 5 minutes. I could feel my temperature go down, which means, and my body start my hands start to swell up and stuff like this. I was like, is it raining yet? No. So
I saw everybody talking about it in the chat, and I mean,
but here's the thing. It's the perfect storm, right? Because where's the spotlight going to be if everything around us is what we're talking about is the truth, right? Where does everything go to? It goes to Goff. So he's either going to put up or shut up. He's either going to be so at the end of the day, whether it is Jared Goff, at the end of the day, you want it to be, because I think that contract-wise, I think that the way it works out moving forward quicker is that these guys get to learn with each other and they grow together, and then he's your guy at $35-40 million. Because he's proven it. He's not the Jared Goff that we're talking about in the past. We're talking about him moving forward. If he's not, it's giving him the ability to move forward, and that's probably going to sign a quarterback, right? If what is playing out, Neal, to me, is that everything else is in place, except the biggest question is then your quarterback. Okay, if that's your only question, is your quarterback.
But if all these units are at that level, then you're going to get by. You're going to get by.
What?
You're going to get by with that, like you are.
Right, because if he's as good, if he is feasible, or even better, if he's what they believe in. See, because the whole thing is like, I'm going by the signs that I see that Brad Holmes and Dan Campbell are showing me, and they're showing me that they believe that this is the guy to bring him there. And he's going to get every opportunity, so they're surrounding him. Wow, it's amazing, eh? When you surround somebody with different talents to try to get the best out of them.
There you go.
It could be the perfect storm. So they could be successful. So when you look at the why, when people are talking about why could this team be that 9-8 team, that 10-7 team, or whatever, these are the reasons. And then it comes down to availability. That's all it is. Because all these guys we're talking about all have question marks.
I feel it brewing, man. This is going to be Tigers-esque. As we get into July, it's going to be like Tigers opening day around here. Just trust me on that. I'm getting that feeling.
Oh, for sure.
No, it's going to be way bigger than that. It's going to be way
I want to
bigger.
be more conservative, but you're probably right.
It's going to be way bigger than that. Why, Neal? Because you're not going to lean over and say, hey, Candelaria's hitting cleanup, reality check, right? That was a reality.
And that is different.
That's a reality check. You're going to go down the lineup and you're going to go, and we're going to wonder, right? Because at the beginning of the season, right, probably in the best case scenario is James Winston isn't going to play, right, because he's still hurt or whatever, so we're still waiting for that, but all the things are in play.
Absolutely. Robert, close here real quick. For the love of God, it's math. You guys all hate math, but numbers don't lie. Jared Goff, 107 QBR, 11 touchdowns, 2 interceptions. That was towards the end of the year last year. Ragnow, Decker, back, plus Chark, Jameson, and Hawk, back. Come on, everybody, get ready to deal with it. So, I mean, that is the case, just like this is the case as far as betting goes. MyBookie.com is a play. NBA playoffs, NHL playoffs. Baseball is here. I gave you the get right tonight. Dodgers minus 265 against Pittsburgh. They're not getting swept at home by Pittsburgh, everybody. D-Max giving you the over from now till the end of time when the Oilers play the Avalanche. You can do it at MyBookie.com. Sign up for an account today. Use a promo code Woodward. They'll match part of your first deposit in free bets up to 50%. It's all there for you, guys. Go ahead. MyBookie.com. It's where it's at. Have a problem with gambling? Call the Michigan Gambling Helpline, 1-800-270-7117.
We are the network for Detroit by Detroiters. Welcome to the Woodward Sports Network.
It took exploring 50 different formulas and hosting countless taste tests, but we believe Gypsy Vodka is the smoothest vodka on the market. Don't believe us? Ask the owners.
We're Mike and Adam Kazanowski with High Five Spirits Distillery. We're in close to about 1,200 locations throughout Michigan. We wanted to create a brand that was geared more towards freedom, love, adventure, and at the end of the day, we really wanted to tell a story that inspired other people to take risk, follow their dreams, whatever that might be.
We all know Cade should have been Rookie of the Year, but you know the saying, Detroit versus everybody.
Uh-oh, Cunningham all by himself.
Woodward Sports.
What's up, guys? Darren McCarty here, and I ain't talking about turtles. I'm talking about frogs, not just any frogs. I'm talking about big frogs. When you need apparel, there's only one place to go. That's Big Frog Novi, with no setup fees, no artwork fees, no minimum, and a 24-hour turnaround. Yes, a 24-hour turnaround. You can have your Whole team outfitted in no time. Embroidery, direct-to-garment, vinyl and screen printing. Big Frog has the styles you want. Visit bigfrog.com/Novi or call 844-4BIG-FROG. That's 844-4 That's bigfrog.com/Novi. Get your stuff today.
Final segment of the show, it's Ask DMAC time. As you guys always know, Ask DMAC. We'll have an abbreviated version here today because we spent too much time talking about candy corn and Jaeger and Post Malone's fingernails and all that stuff. So, update the poll. What's worse, candy corn or Jaeger? 54% of you said Jaeger, 46% of you said candy corn. So you know what? You guys want to lie in the chat, the polls? That's fine. We'll be doing no polls tomorrow. We're not doing it because you guys want to lie about it and be cute and be funny and all that stuff. Go ahead. Because I count on these for scientific data of how the people are doing. If you want to manipulate them, then that's fine. Then we can just not do them anymore because there's not really a point. Okay? So maybe we'll try it again on Friday. Today's Wednesday, right?
Yep.
Hump day.
We'll try it again on Friday, and we'll see if people are serious about it. Get Right special. Tonight, I gave it to you, the Dodgers over Pittsburgh. I understand you got to lay a big number. 260 was the last I saw. Doesn't matter what the line is. Just name how much you want to win, put it in there, and enjoy your winnings as we look to go to, 19-5, right? 18-5. I'm sorry.
It's all right.
Yep.
It's all right.
Absolutely.
Still a good percentage.
Dabber says, Neal, you asked for every one of those polls. Don't put this on us. Yes, but you guys did it.
He asked for honesty in the polls. He's just, this is how serious he is with candy corn, you guys. If you guys didn't know, I would have said. I mean, you reap what we sow. Everybody's going to make mistakes. We just got to learn from it.
Scott Klingler says, why do I get punished for their stupidity, Neal? Because that's the way of the world, Scott. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate that you have integrity and others don't, Scott. That's unfortunate. But this is the world we live in today. So, what are we going to do? Ask DMAC. Can I buy a Tigers ticket for you and hang out in the same section just to keep us hyped during the game?
Oh, man, that is so cute. That is so cute. Never say no, but they're going to have to win at a lot bigger rate for me to show up down there on a nice day. But, Aaron, you know what? Never say never. That could be it.
Yeah, absolutely. Doughboy Steve, DMAC, how will the Western Conference circus fare against the Eastern Conference?
You know what? That's wait and see how everybody gets through. The biggest thing is to see how the health-wise, but at the end of the day, it's going to come down to goaltending. It's going to come down to goaltending because you would think that the East would come out on top, but you just never know. You never know. I got to think that the lack of the goaltending in the West will be the downfall.
Thormiel Robinson asked DMAC, should we get Adama Sue back this year? What do you think?
No. Why?
Yeah, unless it's like a really friendly number.
No, but why? Because he's not here to build a team. He's proven that before. He's about himself. He's not about the process. So, great talent and stuff like this. If we were on the verge of winning a Super Bowl, absolutely. Right? Because that's what he's all about.
Huron Mark M says our next poll should be candy corn versus Post Malone's fingernails. Well, maybe on Friday we'll do that. We're taking a time out tomorrow. Here's what I don't understand. People are calling me a narcissist because I'm going to end the polls for tomorrow. Like I had anything to do with this.
Yeah, I mean, you told them.
How about we have some integrity? How about that?
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I guess that makes me a. Do you ask for integrity from people? That makes you a narcissist, apparently. I just want people to have integrity.
There it is. Heel Neal.
Chef Chris Smith, Jaeger infused with candy corn. It's called the Heel Neal. Yeah, so there it is.
Well, you're proving why you are Heel Neal. See, babyface Neal couldn't take away the poll, but Heel Neal, guys, see you Friday for the poll.
That's what it is.
I lose out in this too, guys. I lose out in this too.
DMAC thinks the polls are entertaining.
I do.
He enjoys them.
I mean, they are. See, but if they don't understand that after every pull, it's processed in the back and it's run through one of those filters and stuff like that, like the social media, what do they call it? Like the trend of the, you know how like we're always looking for AEW and WWE, what are their numbers and stuff like this? This has to do with it. So you just mess with Neal's big plan. So
it's cool for me. I got to do less work, so.
Neal Ruhl, second furnace. DMAC, does MJF go to WWE?
Yeah, I mean, yeah, eventually. I think eventually that's what happens, but, stay tuned. There's something bigger brewing there as we've seen, and if you don't know MJF being, the biggest heel in AEW and stuff like that, and they've sort of wrote him off of the television from now on.
All right. Well, hey, appreciate everybody. I know we had a lot of fun today and chopped it up and, talked some trash and all that kind of stuff. But it was a lot of fun, man. These shows always fly by. You guys are the reason why. So for DMAC, for Spencer.
There, Mark Ross. Hold on. Mark Ross, you got it. Integrity versus narcissism here. Big D energy. Yeah.
We should rename the show. See y'all tomorrow. Big D Energy, Woodward Sports Network. Well, see you later.